Asking for feedback is really important because feedback is such a great source of new insight about how your behavior is affecting other people. It's an important way to bridge the self-awareness gap that about 85% of us have, where we know what we intend, but we don't know how it lands or what the impact is. So asking for feedback is a good idea. Unfortunately, most people suck at giving good feedback. So when you say, hey, I'd love some feedback, what they do is they think, oh, okay, well, what are the things that I liked or didn't like about what you've done over the last while? And let me reconstruct a memory of what you actually did and then, heap a bunch of judgment on you. That is not helpful. It doesn't feel very good, and it's probably not very constructive either. So here's the alternative. Establish what I call your feedback strike zone. So when you're asking somebody to pitch a fastball at you, which is what getting feedback tends to feel like, you want to make sure that you're receiving it in a place where you're ready for it and protected. Much like when somebody throws a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, you want it to be in the strike zone, not at your head or at your heart. Neither of those things is good. So how do you do that? How do you establish your strike zone? So first of all, at all times, it makes sense to understand what's the theme that you're working on. Now, you can have a couple of different themes in different contexts or with different people, but know what it is you're working on. So you may think, what I'm working on is being more concise. Okay, if you're working on better communication skills, having a bigger impact when you say things, being concise may be an important part of it. And specifically, you may say, look, I'm pretty good at rehearsing what I'm going to say, but it's when we get into the questions section of the meeting, that's when my answers get a little hoo-ha. So if that's what you're working on, great. So when you're going to ask somebody for feedback, you can say, hey, I've been working on my communication skills. Particularly, I'm working to be a lot more concise. And while I think I've made some progress on places where I can be prepared, where I'm still really working is to give more concise answers to questions. So that's establishing your strike zone. And then you can be clear with the person about when you think they're going to have an opportunity to see that. So you say, I'm going to present the draft presentation this afternoon, and I know there's going to be lots of questions. I would really value it if you would pay attention to how I answer and give me any examples or any feedback about how you felt about the length of my answers and whether they were the right amount of detail or not. So what you've done is, first of all, you've made their lives a lot easier. So instead of just this big open question of feedback, which causes them to have to think about, am I going to hurt this person's feelings? Is this what they were looking for? And when you're asking for it post hoc, they're having to think, I don't even remember. So this way you've done them a favor by saying, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'd like you to look for. Much, much easier. So the other thing you've done, though, it's really valuable, is you've actually prepared yourself for what's going to be coming at you. You'll be ready with your shin pads on and all the protection so that when that feedback comes at you, you're expecting it, you are curious about it, you're looking forward to it, and you're ready to learn from it. So this technique of establishing your strike zone is good for making people feel more comfortable giving you feedback, helping them know what to give feedback about and what to pay attention to. And it's wonderful for helping you feel like you've got some control over what's coming at you instead of ducking that 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming at your head. So when you want to ask for feedback, establish a strike zone. And if somebody asks you for feedback, go back with the same idea.
Okay, I would be very happy to give you feedback. Just let me know, what are you working on? What would you like me to watch for?
So this is a way to make feedback so much better to both give and receive. Try it and let me know.